What's going on, world? It's your boy Steve Dab 317 back with another reaction video. And I sincerely hope that yesterday you all were able to enjoy my 24 videos I released. I released a reaction video every hour on the hour for 24 hours straight. I know previously I've talked about how versatile I am when it comes to music and how I pretty much love all genres of music. So today we're going to mix it up a little bit. We've got a little bit of Frank Sinatra coming your way. Title of this one is My Way. This is going to be a live rendition from 1970 performed in London. But with no further ado, let's get it popping.
Appelez-vous, monsieur. That means go, baby. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll make it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, to mention. I did what I had to.
You know what's really significant, or what's really separates him from a lot of people is if you pay attention to where he stops for a moment, where he takes a pause in his music. You know, even skipping through, if you even want to call it a course, but you know, he just goes right back into it. But like they're almost dramatic. It's like almost dramatic pausing, you know. Fun fact about Frank Sinatra. So his publicist, Evans. I can't remember his part. Anyway, his publicist, like early on in his career, he used to actually give out a ton of free tickets to like high school girls. So like they would go to the concerts and scream, and he also like paid a handful of them to like faint during a concert. You know, so granted there were some people there who were already going crazy, but they just kind of helped to really boost it or excite the situation. But you know, Frank Sinatra, his voice, I'm sure he already had people, you know, doing that anyways.
But then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do. I saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more, I did it my way.
Before this jumps off, I want to talk a little bit about those lyrics about doing it his way. So Frank Sinatra, and some of you may already know this, but he was also known for essentially just that, doing things his way. He had a motto that was kind of like basically my way or nothing at all, something along those lines. I may have butchered it, but basically with the original label he was signed with, basically they wanted him to put out some music that he wasn't behind, he wasn't supportive of, he wasn't fond of it. So he actually ended up walking and starting his own label. Anyway, I just wanted to share that little tad bit. Some of you may have already known that. If you didn't, there's some little information for you. Let's keep it rolling.
Much more, I did it my. Yes, there were times, I guess you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew, and through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up, then spit it out. tried. I've had my fill, my share of losing. But now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, no, no, not me, I did it my way. For what is a man, what has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my
And then he walks off so cool, like reminds me of almost like a 007 type of thing. But yeah, don't sleep on the lyrics to this song. Like, even if you've heard it before, make sure you take a moment to think about the lyrics to this song, and also like think about his transition from Capitol Records to Reprise Records, and just some of his mottos that he's had throughout his lifetime. Something else significant about music back in, and I'm going to not even necessarily put, I wouldn't put him in like the 1970s because that's like later in his life, but like music that was out like the 1930s and 40s with the artists then, uh they sounded better in person than they did on the records. So you think about where technology was back then, like in the 1930s, like 1940s, right? It wasn't high end recording. It wasn't crystal clear like it is today. So I imagine a lot of people probably were excited to go see him in person because it's like you listen to a record and you're like, man, this guy sounds great. And then you go to see him in person and it's like, yo, this is crazy. So I imagine that was probably part of the part of why the pandemonium kind of existed around his presence. Whereas today, it's the opposite with a lot of artists. You think about it, there are a lot of artists who sound amazing, amazing in the studio, and then you'll go to a live performance, and it's like, is this even the same person? Because they can digitally do so. I mean, T Pain. Look at T Pain, right? T Pain, and granted, T Pain can actually sing, but T Pain, the master of auto-tuned the world. Some people hate him for it, but it was his niche. It was his niche. It was his thing. He was great at it. So yeah, it's almost to the point where there are probably some artists nowadays who need to kind of Milli Vanilli their approach on stage. If you get the reference, put it down in the comments. Anyways, that's it for now. A little bit of Frank Sinatra for you. Steve Dab 317. Appreciate you being here. I'm signing out. Peace.